I'm glad he's had a couple of
Me
good
too.
games. I am. I mean, think about yourself in Bronny's shoes, and your dad's LeBron, and you're trying to do the same thing, and everybody thinks, God, he didn't deserve to be drafted. Then you go 0 for 15 from 3, and everybody's crushing you. I'm glad he's had a couple of good games.
I was thinking a lot about Bronny the other day because I literally have to talk about him all the time on that the NBA show we do.
Right.
And I'm like, I got to come up with different takes. I got to have some more Bronny takes.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it in life, right? When you get an opportunity, how long a leash do you get? Right? Like, so for you and I on radio, they tossed me out there. Like, I remember Mike Thompson tossed me out there and said, I want you to go and host solo.
Yes.
Saturday morning, this is your time.
Oh.
And I was so nervous. Oh, my God.
Solo. Yeah.
So nervous. And Bronny was my producer, Adam Bronstein.
Right.
Okay. And there was an opening scene where, like, I had the thing scripted out. See, I go right back there.
They scripted out.
I scripted out what I was going to talk about.
Sure.
Like, I didn't write every word, but I said, I'm going to start kind of with this, and then I'm going to go to that, and then I'm going to go to that.
Sure.
And then I froze. And it's like set, and I'm like looking at Bronny like, help.
Right.
And I was like, can you just sit in here with me? This is really terrifying to just do a solo radio show and you've never done this before.
Right.
And I got through it. I booked a lot of guests. Bronny sat in here with me.
Sure.
He he didn't exactly hold my hand, but figuratively.
Yeah.
Metaphorically. And then I got a little better, but I didn't ever want to do that again, like solo. But I got a chance. Like, I got more chances. It wasn't like, throw me out there once, you suck, never again. Like, you get a couple opportunities, and sometimes you just get one chance. Sometimes you're like Eminem. If you had one shot, one opportunity, right? Well, Bronny's getting a long look.
Yes.
Which is not something second-round picks normally get. He's getting a chance to develop. He's getting a chance to play through his struggles. That, if you're going to look at the advantages he has being LeBron's son, that's it.
Yes.
Because he's gotten better. Now, it could have gone the other way. He could have gotten a long look and not gotten better.
Right.
And that would have been really bad. That would have been really uncomfortable for everyone.
So he is settling in and has had a couple of decent games.
He made a few shots. He feels comfortable. Dalton Knecht looks pretty damn good.
Dalton Knecht looks really good.
That dude can play.
He's filling up a box score nicely
every night. And they're if they're not guarding Bronny, they're definitely guarding Dalton. He's got two guys on him every time.
Right.
But I thought Bronny looked pretty good. He was a playmaker. He set Dalton up quite a bit, even that, which is hard to do when they're sagging off of you.
Yep.
And I thought Dalton could put the ball on the floor. He got to the hoop a few times last night. Like, that was, I thought, like, from what I've seen out of him, he looks like he can contribute right away.
I said this yesterday, but I think it's almost good for Dalton that Bronny is so in the spotlight, because you can sort of get yourself established in the shade a little bit.
Yeah, and he's a good player. Like, that guy, I know people were high on him when they drafted him, and then there's questions, why did he fall, because of the age, et cetera, but like, he's a mature guy.
But the age is a plus.
I know.
He's 23. You want a player that can contribute more quickly instead of like that French kid, 18 years old. They may never see the best of him.
And like the Lakers, when they did their last rebuild, right?
Right.
When they drafted Ingram and Lonzo, who's the guy that popped right away? Kuzma. Because he was older.
He went to 4 years of school.
And then once the young guys finally got old enough, they were all traded to the Pelicans.
Yep, exactly right. So I think there's something to be said for drafting somebody who's more developed.
Yeah, I do too.
And
especially
I know their
when
focus.
40 almost.
I know their focus is player development, and obviously that's going to come into play with Dalton Knecht and Bronny. But I think the fact that you've got somebody who's a little bit more established, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more emotionally mature, all that stuff, I think makes a big difference.
And I watched Bronny pretty closely last night because I want to really watch him sometimes. I think that guy's going to be good. He just needs to grow a little bit more. Like, he's undersized for what the role he's going to be in is. But if he grows 2-3 inches, which he certainly could based on his genes, okay? If he's already kind of built for his age. So if he just gets a little bigger, he's really going to contribute.
When do people stop growing? He's 19, right? At what age is growth over?
Well, remember Anthony Davis grew, what was it, after his freshman year? He just shot
up.
But
think about that. That's after his freshman year. Bronny's 19.
Yeah, it was after his freshman year.
Just look at photos of LeBron at his age. Look at photos of Giannis or Joel Embiid when they first got drafted. They're like little boys.
Yeah.
And then you look at them now, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a completely different looking person. You
right.
You grow up, you work on your body. I mean, even if he only grows another inch or two, I still think that would help because I think, what is he listed at, Greg? 6'3"?
6'1".
6'1"?
Yeah, he's
like,
not.
If he could just get to 6'4",
yeah,
that would make a world of difference.
Yes. So he's got to.
And I think
grow,
he can.
Bronny, grow.
Right. I mean,
Sleep
how much
hanging
he
upside
actually,
down.
Yes.
It's like my whole life.
But like, what is like the ceiling for Bronny as of right now? What do you see?
I think Michael called it. Gary Payton II.
So it's just a rotational player.
Yeah,
off the
rotational
bench.
3-and-D guy.
You know, like
I would like for them to
15, 20
play him at
minutes.
point guard. I would, because if you're going to be undersized, point guard's probably the right place for him. But I think he already shows enough athletic ability, vision. Like I think he shows enough to me to be worth the investment they're making on him. Now, I will take all of that back if he doesn't play in the G League this year.
Right.
Of course.
If he's just sitting on the end of the bench, that's not helpful.
So my friend Henry at the gym says that he thinks the comp is Ronnie Price.
Okay, but he had a nice long NBA career.
He had a long NBA career. Yeah, he played for 10 years. Never necessarily, he's never a dominant player, of course, in by any stretch. But
with the Jazz,
he had a serviceable career. Utah and Phoenix.
I think he was a point guard, though.
Yeah, he was a point guard.
So, like, that's the thing. If you're undersized, point guard is probably the way to go.
And he's, by the way, he was 6'2".
Yeah.
So, undersized point guard.
Anytime you're listed at 6'2", that's probably a stretch.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
it's like me saying, I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
Kind of.
Are you 5'2"?
With shoes on.
Yeah. How tall are you for real?
For real, probably 5'1 3/4" or 5'1
Really?
and a half, yeah.
Wow.
But I'm always wearing shoes.
Don't you get to go to college for free if you're under 5'5" or something? Isn't that a rule? You get to go to college for free if you're under 5'5"?
That would be amazing, but no.
I mean, my
It's
whole
not a
life
rule.
is
I've never
that
heard
song.
that, no.
I wish I was a little bit taller. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So, hey, it's your birthday.
It is.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Momo.
Happy birthday,
Yay.
Momo. I was just telling the guys,